Okay, let's go ahead. It's 11:02. We'll go ahead and get started. And we're also recording as well, just so everybody knows. So in case anyone is late or didn't have an opportunity to join us today for this membership orientation, we can be able to share the recording with them. So welcome everyone. My name is Wilson Tam. I'm the ADRC Program Manager with the California Department of Aging. Just want to welcome you and thank you all for your interest and also your service to the our ADRC Advisory Committee. Before we do introductions, wanted to first welcome our California Department of Aging Director, Kim McCoy-Wade, to say a few words.
Good morning. Good morning. It is so exciting. Can I get thumbs up if you can hear or see? Is everything okay technology-wise? Okay, it's going to be great then. We're off to a great start. I'm trying to hold myself back from, well, maybe I won't. I just think this is such a historic and epic moment for this network. And I think this day is kicking off 2 years of transformative work. And so I want you to not get overwhelmed by what I'm going to say right now, but I want you to think ahead to 2 years from now and what you're going to have accomplished. So thank you for applying. Thank you for all the work you've done. And thank you for what you're going to do in the next 2 years, which is really going to be amazing. And let me tell you why I think this is like all the stars are coming together for Aging and Disability Resource Connection. And the next 2 years are so critical. So I don't have to tell you, this group, that the need for the service couldn't be clearer. It was already clear to us before the COVID. It was already clear to us before wildfires and PSPS. We knew, but now the world knows. The world is trying to get information. It has been able to get information, is struggling in parts of our state to get information. It is really, the need couldn't be clearer. And when I know that, not from just hearing from all of you and being out in communities, but also our stakeholder processes. I've just been leading the Master Plan for Aging process, and I want to do a shout out to Christina Mills and Jeff Tom and Brenda from the West Health Foundation, who've been part of that. We just received over 800 recommendations from the stakeholders. And you know what the number one was? The first one we received in November last year, it was this: statewide, easy place to go for excellent, reliable information, and more than a referral, actual help. Okay, so that was the first thing we heard of the 800 we came in. Now I'm looking at the Alzheimer's Task Force recommendations. They went a different way. The governor's Alzheimer's Task Force with Maria Shriver, instead of 800, they focused on 10 emerging priorities. And one of the 10 is a version of this. They're saying, we need a web portal. We need a web portal where if you need caregiving help, care in California, where do you go? Why is it so fragmented? So it is on their top 10 list of a clear door with web assistance, phone assistance, aging, disability, dementia. It's on the Fed's list. We see it in COVID funding, right? We've gotten more ADRC funding and a historic opportunity to not just meet the need, but to think bigger and different. In our other, we're at CDA, we're lucky we run several phone lines. We also run the adult and information line with all of our 33 AAAs. And as soon as COVID hit, we took that money and upgraded to Amazon Web Services telephone system to be networked and forwarding in a different way. What are the opportunities for ADRC on the telephony side? I can't say that word, telephone side. But more than, and of course the legislature, right? The legislature has been active partners in no wrong door conversations, particularly in the last few years, and Assemblymember Nazarian and so many more. So you have everybody saying the time is now. And most of all, we have all of you. I hear from Anna Acton all about the amazing work in Nevada County, was able to go out there when we were still doing that and see and hear. I've actually sat in meetings with Anna where she is fielding and resourcing phone calls in real time. Victoria Jump in Ventura, similarly. Just incredible work there, record-breaking amount of meals and other services provided in part through that strong ADRC. I just had a call recently with the Marin, Eli and his team in Marin and in Lee, and seeing what they're doing to think, and I'm gonna, touch this here, test that brand. It is no wrong door, the brand that works for our consumers and our public and our families and ourselves. And they've come up with something a little different that I think is good for all of us to think about, how we unite in one brand, one web portal, one telephone system, one reporting system. How do we become the strength of our local communities and local voices, but be there for all Californians and all communities? So what makes me the most excited is that the ADRC, you all, is stepping up at the right time. We have this more structured and reinvigorated committee with brand new members saying, yes, this 2-year term. And I just think if anyone's gonna make it all come together, it's you all. We need everyone's best thinking, everyone's collaboration. I often use the metaphor of a potluck or a stone soup, that we're all gonna pull it together. But I really do think it would be a missed opportunity if we don't take advantage of both the crisis in needs and the desire for California to be a leader in this space. So I hope that doesn't scare anybody away. I hope that's meant to be inspiring, that this really is a chance to build on the incredible, excellent, life-saving work that is happening in spots all over California, and make it the norm all over California for all. So I'm sure there are things to do that I don't know yet, that I need to know, that we haven't, that you will tell me and correct me, and we will learn as we go to make sure we are multilingual and culturally responsive and able to serve the needs of all of our diverse families and people, and accessible, and all of those values got to be put into practice. So keep it coming. Ask the tough questions, make your own bold challenges, tell us what you need from CDA and from the administration more broadly, and let's get it done. That's my welcome. Put you to work. Happy to take any questions or comments or corrections, or Wilson, get me back in line if you need me to. But I just wanted to tell you how excited I am about this kicking off today. It's the highlight of my day, and I really cannot wait to dig in more with all of you.
The word you were looking for is telephonic.
Telephonic. Thank you. Victor, do you want to say anything from the DOR perspective? This is a partnership for sure.
Okay, now you can hear me. So, well, one thing I'll share about the DOR is we have decided that every time somebody starts speaking and it turns out they're muted, they need to put $1 in a virtual jar. And just based on that, we're going to be able to pay for a hell of a virtual holiday dinner. It's going to be steaks galore. So thank you so much, Kim, and absolutely echoing everything you say. The DOR, which, as many of you know, administers the Independent Living Center services and programs, is so excited to be partnering with Department of Aging. And we know that the Independent Living Center and the IL community has been on the forefront of a lot of this work that we're describing here for decades, really. And we're so excited to partner and help expand the scope of our reach and of the scope of the IL philosophy and movement. And couldn't ask for better partners in aging and in the AAAs and the ADRC network. And we're just so excited to be a part of this great conversation.
Yes, and this is Mark Beckley. I also wanted to welcome Keith Boylan to the group. Keith is from CalVet, and it's been a very long time since ADRC has had a representative from CalVet on the committee. So anything you wanted to say, Keith?
I'll start by saying I barely saved myself $1 there. Welcome everybody, thank you. As I said, I've recently joined the group. I'm the Deputy Secretary here at the Department of Veterans Affairs and oversee all veteran services for the state. So many of you may know, a large portion of our veteran population in the state of California is over 60 years old. So very important that we're part of these discussions and part of these efforts. So just happy to be here and welcome everybody and look forward to getting to know you all.
Thank you. I really am so glad to see you. This is actually, I had a call this morning on nursing homes and CalVets was also there. So I'm just thrilled that we are more and more at the same table across settings. It's great.
Very good.
So Kim, this is Daryl. I want to thank you for your leadership in this. We've made great strides in the last year or so, and I'm going to suggest that a lot of it is because of your interest in this issue and your leadership. So thank you.
Well, genuinely, I can be interested, but nothing gets done without you all with your expertise and your hard work. And Wilson, first and foremost, and the deep partnership. So we will all pull from our various, we all have a various, seat in this ecosystem. So absolutely happy to champion the work. If you guys are willing to design the work and lead the work. Okay, Wilson, I know you have a full agenda. I'm going to stay on for a little bit and listen and watch the chat just to see how the conversation goes, but wish you a wonderful meeting and can't wait to, well, I'll be back before 2 years, but we'll be back here in 2 years. Let's mark the day. And let's see what we can, let's set these bold goals today and then see how far we can get. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you so much, Kim, for your words. Same with Victor with DOR and Keith with CalVet, and as well as Mark. Thank you guys so much for each of your support and your interest as well. So with that, we'll move on to the next agenda item, which is introduction of our members. So something new that we're trying is that in order to make our meetings more accessible, we're asking that each member provide a very brief 1 to 2 sentence visual description of themselves. I'll start off with myself, and then my team will introduce themselves as well for practice run. And then we'll be also doing the same during our advisory committee meeting tomorrow. So want to just again introduce myself. Hi, my name is Wilson Tam. I'm the ADRC program manager with the Department of Aging. I'm a Chinese American male who prefers the pronouns he, him, his. Today I have black hair, a checkered white, red, and blue shirt, and glasses. Simple as that, everyone. So with that, my team, we have David, Sarah Ann, Amanda, and Paula here with us today. Would each of you introduce yourselves, please?
Sure, I could go next. My name is David Morikawa. I'm the program specialist for the Aging and Disability Resource Connection branch. I'm an older Japanese American with black hair, still black hair, and glasses. And today I am wearing an olive green shirt.
Okay, I can go next. My name is Sarah Ann Ryan. I am a program analyst for the California Department of Aging in the Aging and Disability Resource Connection branch. I am a middle-aged Caucasian woman with brown pixie cut hair, and today I am wearing a black and white collared shirt.
I can go next. My name is Amanda Price, and I'm actually new to the Department of Aging in the Aging and Disability Resource branch. I am middle-aged Caucasian with long blonde / gray hair, and I am wearing a black and white shirt today. Nice to meet you all.
Is it my turn? This is Paula.
Yep. Your turn, Paula.
Okay, I'm Paula Acosta, and I'm the retired annuitant. I'm the echo of ADRC past, and hopefully some help with its future. I welcome you all today. It's really exciting to see all of you here. I'm an elder Caucasian woman. I have a t-shirt. I'm wearing a t-shirt and yoga pants today.
Thank you so much, team. So that's our small but mighty team for the ADRC branch within the California Department of Aging. Next, we'll announce the 15 members as well as I call out your name in alphabetical order. Please feel free to provide your short description as well. But before I do so, just wanted to mention again that thank you each of you for your interest. You were selected based on your knowledge, experience, and leadership abilities to expand our ADRC program. It is a 2-year membership effective October of this year through December of 2022. The membership list is actually has been sent to you, but a version of that has been also posted online. We're currently working to get all the bios for all our members, and once we have all the bios, we'll be sure to share with everyone, so you get to learn and know a little bit about each other. But with that, we'll go ahead and conduct a roll call and ask for each member to provide a short intro. Anna Acton, beginning of the alphabet, you're first.
Every time. Good morning still, everyone. My name is Anna Acton. I'm the Executive Director of FREED. We serve 5 rural counties, Nevada, Sierra, Yuba Sutter, and Colusa counties. We are also a core partner of the ADRC of Nevada County and emerging ADRC in Yuba and Sutter County. I have long, dirty, blonde hair with a lot more gray than I had about 7 months ago. And I use a wheelchair. I'm a person with a disability. I have an 8-year-old son, and I go by the pronouns of she and her. And there's my son. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Next, we have Brenda Schmidhenner. Did I say your last name correctly, Brenda?
You did. Great job, Wilson. Thank you. I'm Brenda Schmidhenner. I'm a program officer of the Gary Mary West Foundation. As you can see from my gray hair, I'm an older adult resident of California who will benefit from the ADRC now and in the future. And I go by she and her, and I am wearing a black and white top this morning and am very pleased to be part of this advisory committee. Thank you.
And you were an original member years ago, right?
Yes, I was. I come to this committee after actually being the ADRC director for the County of San Diego's Aging and Independent Services from 2008 to 2016 when I retired from the county.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Brenda. Next, we have Corinne Jones.
Good morning, Corinne Jones here. I am a gerontologist by profession and an older adult. I serve as program director of Site 8, Multipurpose Senior Services Program here in Lake and Mendocino County. Excuse me. Now I get a tickle in my throat. I'm working from home, as you can probably see, refrigerator in the back. I'm an American of African descent, and looking forward to doing great things with you folks. Excuse me.
Thank you, Corinne. Next, we have David Wilder, who seems to be wildly popular with everyone here.
My name's David Wilder. I am a Cal vet. I am blind, physically impaired, bipolar, diabetic, COPD, and I just recently had open heart surgery. I've been in public activities for the last 30 years.
Great. Thank you, David, which is probably why you're so well known, right? Next, we have Erin Critcher.
Hi, everybody. So I am currently the board president at Dale McIntosh Center in Orange County. And I'm also obtaining a MSG or Master's of Science in Gerontology to become a gerontologist. And I'm getting that at USC. Some of you may recognize my name. I know I recognize a lot of yours. I was Callie's program intern last year for the Master Plan on Aging. So it's nice to see familiar names and look forward to everybody. I have multiple disabilities and chronic conditions. The one that most people identify with is blindness. I also have survived a stroke, and I deal with osteoporosis, a bunch of food sensitivities, and I could go on and on and on, but the bottom line is I'm a survivor and I'm here to contribute. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. And if you guys ever see me in person, I'll have a black lab to my left, and his name is Maverick.
Thank you, Erin. Next, we have Gregory Mathis.
Good morning, everyone. I am a white middle-aged male with what hair is left. It's turning mostly gray. I apologize, I can't be on camera as I'm in between things at the moment. I've got a tan shirt on, a button down with dark pants. I'm excited to be on the committee. I recognize a couple of names, Victor and Anna, formerly from the Assistive Technology Advisory Committee. I am the Director of Programs and Policy for Community Health Initiative of Orange County. We're a community-based nonprofit organization. We do education, enrollment, and navigation into healthcare and social services. So, for example, Medi-Cal covered California, and soon Medicare. And then we do enrollments in social services and some referrals to things like CalFresh, CalWorks, and 8 others. Currently, all of our services are remotely. And I think I had to wait till this point in time in my career and my life to join this committee. I've been on lots of committees with Victor and Anna previously, and look forward to helping the ADRC become, you know, what the vision is for the future. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Gregory. Next, we have Helen Lopez.
Hey everybody, I'm Helen Lopez. I am an older American Anglo, first generation. My parents are from Scotland. They're also Anglo, but not American Anglo, were. So I'm an older American who refuses to admit it and refuses to grow up. But other than that, I've done a variety of things in the aging and disability community over the years. I'm an OTRL. I've run aging programs and programs for people with disabilities. I'm also a JD. I have on my orange Halloween shirt because it's October. And I can't tell you what color my hair is because I haven't seen my hairdresser since March.
Thank you, Helen. Next, we have Jacqueline Jackson.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Jackson, and I am an African American, and I have like 40 years of experience in nonprofit management. I am an advocate for people with disabilities and an independent consultant. I am severely legally blind, and I go by the pronouns of she and her. And just 3 days ago, I was appointed to the California Commission on Disability Access. I'm very, very active in our community, and I'm glad to be a part of this committee. I know quite a few of you and worked with you, and I'm just happy to be a part of the team. And I have a red dress on.
Great. Thank you, Jacqueline. Next, we have Jan Lamucci.
Hi, Jan Lamucci. I'm the LTSS manager for Independent Living Center of Kern County. Short description of myself is I'm short. I'm not even 5 foot at 4'10", and I am a Caucasian woman of Italian, Spanish, and Mexican descent. And let's see, getting real close to hitting 65 in just a couple of months. So pretty much all gray hair and wearing black sweater today.
Thank you, Jan. Next, we have Jeff Tom.
Good morning, everyone. I am a senior Anglo male. I am a retired state employee and serve as the volunteer governmental affairs director for the California Council of the Blind. My hair is as long as it's ever been, but will be cut next week. And I believe it's pretty much salt and pepper, they say. And I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts, and I know a number of the people on this committee, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it. So Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. Next, we have Jewel Lee.
You're on mute. Oh,
Always hard to find that unmute button. I'm gonna donate a ton of dollars to that. Thank you, everyone. I'm Joel, and I represent the County of Riverside. I am behind me is artwork of my multiracial boys, and I have that always to remind me that I have to feed them. I have to stop work and feed them. I have a multicolored shirt, as well as my puffy eyes, because I was analyzing and mapping 10 years worth of data last night. So, hello, my puffy eyes.
and you are the director of?
I'm the director of the AAA in the County of Riverside.
Thank you.
Great, thank you, Jewel. Next, we have Kate Shadone. She is the director of the Hub resource. I forgot the exact Hub resource in San Francisco's Disability and Aging Services Department. And she isn't able to join us today. However, she did wanted me to say thank you and welcome to everybody. But she'll be able to join us tomorrow for the full advisory committee meeting. Next person is Christine Loomis.
Good morning, everyone. I am really, really pleased to be on this committee and on this call. I'm very excited. I'm a 64-year-old Caucasian woman that came into physical disability through chronic illness in my 20s. And I made a decision that I wasn't going to lie down and roll over. And I retrained in computer application systems at the beginning of the internet and ended up sort of creating my own job because I wanted to choose something that I felt dedicated to. I ran a website and electronic communications for the union that represented care providers. And this dates me, it goes back, to before the internet. And I helped my local college develop their first internet. And now I have lost my eyesight to the point I'm similar to many people on this committee. I have very, very limited vision. So I can't do that work anymore. But I did it for 15 years from my home. Literally from my bed, because I do not bend and sit up straight and have a special ergonomic device to use a computer. So I feel like the rest of the world is just catching up with me now. I was telling them back then, hey, everybody's going to be working from home at one point and shopping from home, and the internet's a common thing, and well, now we're here. So I don't want to go on too long. I have a tendency to do that. I'm 5'6". I can stand and shuffle a little, but I cannot do that for long, and I'm partially paralyzed, and I use a power wheelchair. It brings me to a standing position, and I come to this committee through actually Jewel Lee. I just want to give her a shout out because I worked with her on the IHSS Advisory Committee in Riverside County, and she was an amazing leader. And she was the one that told me about this committee and said, hey, you should get on this. You're a good advocate. I have done individual advocacy for people, as well as I've been on statewide committees and spoken to the press and stuff like that. So I'm a mixture, but I primarily come here with lived experience like many others. Thank you for your patience with my lengthy intro.
Thank you very much, Christine. Next, we have Letty Zuno.
Hi, good morning. I'm Letty. I'm the Executive Director of Access to Independence of San Diego. Hi, Helen. I am a middle-aged Latina female with a background. My mom is from Spain. My dad is from Mexico. So this is what you get. I'm a new grandmother, so I make sure I tell everybody that. I am wearing a black and white polka dot shirt with a huge bow that they made fun of me wearing earlier. Big bow. It's not a costume, but it looks like one. And I'm really excited to be a part of this group and just seeing a lot of familiar faces. So what an honor for me to be here with all of you.
Great, thank you, Letty. Last but not least, we have Victoria Jump.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Victoria Jump, Director of the Ventura County Area Agency on Aging and part of the Ventura County ADRC. To describe myself, I would say that I am an ageless Caucasian woman. Don't laugh, Daryl. So let's just go with I'm ageless. I have brown hair. I wear reading glasses. I always wear the color black because that's my favorite color in the world. And I am tall.
Great, thank you, ageless Victoria. So for that's our 15 members. Thank you all so much, and providing a brief description of yourselves. Next, I also want to introduce our ex officio members. With our ex officio, we have the California Association of Area Agencies on Aging, or C4A. Daryl, did you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, Daryl Kelch. I'm the Executive Director at the Area Agencies on Aging. Have been for a number of years. I've met and worked with many of you, and so it's good to see you again. I like that ageless, Victoria. I was going to say I'm an old kid, so I'm still here. That surprises some people like David and others that I've worked with. Yeah, and I have a white shirt on.
Great, thank you so much, Daryl and C4A. Next, we have the California Commission on Aging, or CCOA.
Hello, everyone. My name is Carol Sportslander. I'm the Executive Director of the Commission on Aging. I am a middle-aged Caucasian woman with auburn hair. I wear glasses, and I'm wearing earphones and have a virtual background because I have a 12-year-old and 15-year-old and a husband and a dog who constantly walk back and forth into my room, so you would get to see them if I didn't. I'm really excited to see the newly established advisory committee. As many of you know, I worked on the ADRC initiative from 2007 to 2014 when I was working at Health and Human Services Agency on federal grant projects. So it's exciting to see everything sort of revamped and all the diversity. I'm glad to see CalVet back in the mix. We were working with them years ago, and I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of you, so really pleased to see you.
Thank you very much, Carol and CCOA. I'm just kind of going in alphabetical order of the association name or the organization names. The funny thing is everyone starts with California, so I got to go by like the first letter of the the next word. So next we have California Department of Healthcare Services, DHCS. Do we have a representative here today? Okay, so it looks like we don't have a representative here today. Typically, we have a representative from DHCS, either Nicole or Bertha or Rudy typically attends. So hopefully they'll be able to join us for our full meeting tomorrow. Next, we have the California Department of Rehabilitation, DOR.
Hi, this is Victor Duran with the DOR. I am a 38-year-old Latino male. I have short black hair and a round face and a goatee, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Victor and DOR. Next, we have California Foundation for Independent Living Centers, CFILC.
Good morning, everyone. This is Christina Mills. I'm the Executive Director of CFILC. I identify as she and her, and I'm very excited to be here with you all, joining the ADRC Advisory Committee for, I think this will be my going on 4th year fourth or third. I came in at the same time as Wilson. So very excited to be sticking it through with him and doing this work together. CFILC's membership did a survey last year to identify how many of us are serving more people over the age of 60 than under. And indeed, the majority of our centers are serving people over the age of 60 as we expected through those survey results. I am a wheelchair user, and this COVID-19 environment has been very interesting because usually I don't have to identify myself as disabled. Everybody sees it. But for the first time ever in my life, I'm now identifying myself, which is amazing. And I'm also very proud aging. How do I say it? I'm aging gracefully, and I'm happy to be with some of the people that have mentored me for years. Thank you.
Terrific. Thank you, Christina. And lastly, next we have State Independent Living Councils, Silk.
Hi, good morning. My name is Carrie England. I'm the Executive Director of the State Independent Living Council. I use the pronouns she, her, and hers. Today I'm wearing a black shirt and I have purple hair, yes, purple, and glasses. Thanks.
Great. Thank you so much, Carrie. And we've already introduced Keith, but we have the California Department of Veterans Affairs, CalVet, Keith Boylan. Did you want to say anything else, Keith, or add on?
No, just I'm once again Keith Boylan, and I guess I should say I was in the U.S. Army and served several tours in Iraq, and happy to hear another veteran on the group. Dave, thanks for your service, and yeah, just happy to be here. I'm in my office. I put on a jacket today with no tie just because I usually have to wear a suit every day and hated it, but now I rarely ever put one on. So I'm in the office today, so I actually put a jacket on, so I feel quite dressed up. But anyways, once again, it's great to see you all.
Great. Thank you for Keith. Thank you, Keith. Totally understand what you're saying. And just wanted to also conclude this introduction with also thanking members with terms that have ended or ending. That includes Danny Anderson, Eldon Luce, Elsa Cusada, January Crane, Jordan Lindsay, Maribel Marin, Pam Miller, and Paula Margison. So just want to thank those. And if you know any of them, please thank them as well for their service and their feedback and leadership that they have provided to our ADRC program. The next agenda item we have is the announcement of our co-chairs. So with the co-chair of the ADRC Advisory Committee, we have a member from the AAA, Area Agency on Aging, and we have the second co-chair is a member of Independent Living Center, or ILC. With that, I'll turn it over to C4A, either Daryl, and CFILC, Christina Mills, to make those announcements.
Yes, we're really pleased that we have the representation that's on this advisory. For the first time, we have Julie and we have Kate from San Francisco. So we're really pleased and excited about their participation. In terms of our co-chair, we've asked Victoria Jump to continue on as a co-chair. I think she's now done at least 2 years. A lot of the growth and accomplishment that we've had with this has been her doing and her leadership, and we're pleased that she's going to have a great co-chair this year. But so Victoria Jump will be representing the area agencies on aging as one of the co-chairs. I don't know, Victoria, do you want to say anything? Apparently not. I had to really twist her arm, folks. But we didn't want to lose her leadership during this transition period. So, Christina?
Thanks, Daryl. This is Christina. CFILC is very excited, and hopefully I didn't have to twist her arm too bad to have Anna Acton serving as our co-chair for the ADRC. And just a little bit about how we ended up coming to that conclusion. Anna's center, Freed Center for Independent Living, that serves multiple rural counties, was one of the first independent living centers to be the fiscal agent of an ADRC. She's been a groundbreaking performer in terms of services and program development in the ADRC world, and she now has 2 counterparts across the state that are also in the position of fiscal agent. And I think it really goes to show the rest of the country how disability has definitely evolved in the ADRC conversation. And a lot of folks across the country have a hard time believing when I say not only do we have disability organizations leading the way and true partnership, we also have advocated and successfully gained state funding to support ADRCs. So I think both with Anna and Victoria as our co-chairs, we're in really good shape. Their leadership is amazing. And I'm not sure if Daryl was going to mention it or not, but I will go ahead and say that we are very also lucky to have such close associations working together. And we will be putting out a save the date later today or tomorrow, but we will be doing a combined conference this year in place of our separate conferences on December 3rd via Zoom. That will be CFILC and C4A, and we will be opening it up to everybody. So we hope that all of you here will also attend that.
Yeah, thank you, Christina. And one of the workshops is going to be on ADRC, so we expect all of you to attend.
Thank you so much, Daryl and Christina, and the announcement, and congratulations to Victoria and Anna. And thank you for your leadership. Anna is visibly excited and dancing around based on what I just saw. So thank you all so much. And next we are moving into the committee orientation. So just a quick explanation that our committee is actually, it's not bound to any formal meeting rules as other state advisory committees or advisory bodies. But we do want to have a balance between having formality and also flexibility for our committee members. So with that, we'll be going through some committee guidelines. If you have any feedback or opportunities that you've identified for improvement, please feel free to share during this orientation as we bring things up or after the orientation. So the topics that we'll be covering in the orientation we'll talk a little bit about the briefing kit that was already sent out to each of you. Hopefully you've had a chance to review it. We'll be providing a short 2.5-minute video regarding person-centered foundation to reinforce that our program is about being person-centered. Next, we'll talk about our charter, the advisory committee charter. The fourth is we'll review over just an overview of the rules by which to meet peacefully, a document that we had also provided as part of the meeting materials for today. The fifth, we'll go over a couple motions that we most frequently use in this advisory committee. 6, we'll go over travel for when we do resume in-person meetings, and for those that wish to meet in person, we'll go over some of those travel details. 7th, we have accommodations. 8th, we'll talk about the work groups and subcommittees as part of this advisory committee. 9th, we'll talk about our work plan for the advisory committee that was put together earlier this year. We've also sent out a copy of that work plan as part of the meeting material, so hopefully you've had an opportunity to review that as well. And lastly, we'll talk a little bit about the ADRC website. We've done a lot of updates to our ADRC section of the CDA website. And so wanted to just kind of go over some of the resource materials that are on there. So in case you wanted to learn more information or get more information, then you'll have a place to refer to. Before we get started on the orientation, any questions so far from any?
This is Christine Loomis, and since I'm not accessing Zoom right now, can you provide me by email with a link for the videos that you're showing? That would be wonderful.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we'll go ahead and I'll send that to you in a few minutes.
Sure.
Great.
Timing's no problem. Just it would be great.
And the video too, just to let everyone know, it is a narrated video. So whatever is shown in the video will also be described in words as well. So,
thank you.
So we kind of thought that part through, and so yeah. So, but I'll make sure I send that over to you as well, Christine, just so you have a copy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Wilson, this is David, and I was just wanted to see if you wanted to introduce Irene and Mark.
Yes. Sorry about that, Irene and Mark. Well, Mark, I think, had a chance to jump in earlier, so let me reintroduce. So Mark Beckley is our Chief Deputy Director with California Department of Aging. And I am not sure if he's still on. Hi, Mark. Anything else you wanted to say?
No, just, thanks to everybody for agreeing to serve on the ADRC committee. Yes, congratulations to Anna and to Victoria for serving, being nominated to serve and serving as the co-chairs, and really look forward to the work ahead. I've been trying to make as many ADRC meetings as I can. I see a lot of familiar faces, so I'm just really looking forward to the work ahead. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Mark. Irene Walela is the Deputy Director for Programs at the Department of Aging. Irene, did you want to say a few words?
Sure. Thank you, Wilson, and thank you, David. It's really a pleasure to see the results of the team's recruitment and selection process to bring new members to the advisory committee. Really heartening to experience the diversity and representation of many communities brought to the ADRC Advisory Committee for the great work that Kim McCoy-Wade has pointed out to us is waiting for us going forward. It's especially a pleasure for me because I worked with the ADRC program under Ed Long's leadership when he was in this deputy role at CDA, and I was at the DOR in the role that Victor has now, and have had the opportunity to support Wilson and his team in creating this newly energized advisory committee, as well as standing up the designation, the emerging ADRCs, and the new ACL grant from COVID-19 from the CARES Act dollars. So really a pleasure to see the results of all this tremendously hard work that's taken place. I'm very excited about the future of ADRC. I forgot to say that I am a Caucasian elder whose hair is still mostly brown. It'd be better if it was purple, but I haven't got there yet. And I wear glasses, and yeah, I don't know what else to say about myself. Oh, I'm wearing fall colors today. So thank you for that new type of introduction, and for the opportunity to say hello to so many people that I have known over the years, and the new people too. Thanks, Wilson.
Great. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Irene. And thanks, David, for the reminder. And I think it's important to say as well that even though we have my team with the ADRC branch, we also have the support from our executive leadership at the Department of Aging. So it's like Kim mentioned, it's very important work that we're all doing. And it's very well supported by our department as well as other departments, as you've seen today, as well as with the master plan. So with that, going back to our briefing kit, I'll go ahead and turn over to David Morikawa to highlight the contents that are in the briefing kit. Again, hopefully everyone has had the opportunity to have reviewed it. And with that, David?
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone, for a few more minutes. And you could thank me later, Wilson, for making sure that I saved your job here. So, anyway, I do hope I do hope that everybody had a chance to take a look at the at a glance briefing kit. It's something new that we put together for our advisory committee, as well as any new members that come into our organization as we move forward. So if you have any suggestions or comments or edits that you would like to make on this, please do share it with us. We are not going to go through each document page by page, but I'm hoping to just really provide you a little teaser of what's in the document. So this way you could spend time on your own to better understand more of the work of the Aging and Disability Resource Connection branch. So, but it is a document that if you look on the very first page, and it was one of the attachments to the meeting announcement, it's called the ADRC Briefing Kit. It's a PDF file. And on the very first page, it does have the California Aging Disability Resource Connection logo on the top, with a table of contents in the middle of the page. And with each of the 11 topics, if you wish to click on that topic itself, it will direct you to those documents within the file. And so this way you will be able to navigate those a little bit more easily. But let me go through, there are 11 separate documents, and I just want to kind of just briefly highlight what they are. The very first one is a ADRC talking points and messaging. This is something that we put together about a year ago when we have to introduce ourselves and what an Aging and Disability Resource Connection is. We try to come up with a real quick, easy way to explain what an ADRC is. And so we put that together to help us identify when we are talking about ADRCs. We're not just trying to come up with a definition or trying to come up with a description that maybe this might help us along. So take a look at that, which is our messaging, current messaging tool or tool for us to use. The second document is a briefing sheet that we put together for our legislative officials and their staff on what an ADRC is. And it highlights the 4 main service functions of an ADRC, which is our enhanced information and referral services, our options counseling, our short-term service coordination, and our transition services from hospitals to home and from skilled nursing facilities to the community. And so it's a quick briefing sheet that will give you a general idea of the 4 core service functions that ADRCs are responsible in supporting and coordinating. The third document is a ADRC brief history. It kind of goes through some of the initial steps back in around 2000 to current day, and what were some of the key areas of development for ADRCs, not just within California, but nationwide. And so if you're looking for a little bit better background on how did this all get started and what were some of the major areas of accomplishment and forward progress, you could take a look at this brief history to get a better idea of the road that we have already taken nationwide as well as in California to move forward. The fourth document is something that we put together. It's a draft. It's an ADRC consumer flyer that doesn't have to be used by our ADRC partners, but is a flyer that they can use or modify for their own local purposes. And so we did want to provide that to you as well as a resource for you in your future activities. The fifth attachment is more information about our ADRC core service functions and our fundamental concepts. And I mentioned the four core service areas being our enhanced information referral and awareness, our options counseling, our short-term service coordination, and our person-centered transition support. We also, I think you've heard many times of our principal concepts of trying to be working with our critical pathways and helping triage our services for our people, our consumers, as well as being a no wrong door concept for helping consumers being able to access the network of services that are available for them, and doing so also in a very person-centered approach, our person-centered practices in all that we do with our consumers. One of the key functions is providing streamlined eligibility determination for public programs and helping people access the services that they are interested and wishing to enroll in. And so these are some of the core concepts that we'll be focusing more on as we go through today, as well as we discuss all of our ADRC plans in the future. Number 6 document is a current map of our designated and emerging ADRCs. It shows the map of California with the current counties that are currently designated, as well as the 10 emerging ADRCs that are in development stages at this time. The next page on that attachment actually includes the list of the 6 designated ADRCs and the 10 emerging ADRCs with a phone number contact if you do see a need to reach them for any particular information. The next document, number 7, is just a general description of the California Department of Aging organizational chart, which outlines the different programs and the departments, our units and branches within our department. And it shows the California, the Aging and Disability Resource Connection branch on the very bottom to the right of the table under the long-term care and aging services division. And so you see that we are one component of the overall department, but a very important part that is developing, as you have heard from our director. And then number 8 is, where do you find a lot of our information in the internet? And it is a step-by-step guide of how do you access our internet, our Aging and Disability Resource Connection, or our provider pages. We'll be going through that at the end of today to kind of navigate through that to show you how you access the wealth of information that is currently in the internet system, or our World Wide Web. Number 9 is just what's the briefing, highlights, I would say, going into the internet and going into the provider page for the Aging and Disability Resource Connection. And there's a number of drop-down menus. And within each drop-down menu, there are particular topics and particular items. And so we kind of highlighted which were in each of those drop-down menus for you. But we do encourage you to kind of look through those and navigate yourself to get more familiar with the wealth of information that's in there. You will be actually be seeing all of our Aging and Disability Resource Connection Advisory Committee minutes and materials also will be posted in that website. Number 10 is our contact information for our current staff here. For Wilson, myself, Sarah Ann, and Amanda, and Paula Acosta. And so if you ever do need to reach us, it has our phone numbers as well as our emails, so it's all in one location for you. And then finally, number 11 is a brief bio of the current staff here at the ADRC branch, just for your own information and your own background. I'm here to answer any questions you may have. I didn't want to go through those in any great length, but I wanted to make sure that you do all recognize what's in that briefing kit and feel comfortable in knowing a little bit more about how our organization is organized, as well as how what the critical functions that we do serve. So any questions?
This is Christine Loomis. I just wanted to double check on the timing of the meeting because I have this meeting as being until 12:30 p.m. today. Is that correct?
Yes,
that
it is.
Correct.
Okay, good. When I heard what you were going over, I thought, oh, maybe this meeting is longer. I have another one that I have to attend, so I'm very glad that that's correct. Okay, and
Great.
thank you so much for the all the information in the briefing.
Great. Thank you, Christine, for your question. And also thank you, David, for a brief overview of the briefing kit. Any questions again about the briefing kit before we move forward? Okay. And you have, like David mentioned, you have our contact information. So if you have any questions even after the our orientation today, please feel free to reach out to us. So next we have the Person-Centered Foundation. As I mentioned earlier, it's a 2.5-minute video. And if Sarah Ann would be so kindly to share her screen, and we're going to go ahead and show the video. Again, it's a narrated video, so everything that is being shown is will be described in verbally as well. And Sarah Ann, any are we able to project it? Perfect.
Sharing the screen now. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. Let me know if we have any issues hearing it.
Okay, great. I think
can you see it?
We hear the volume, but we see your face still.
Okay. All right, let's try this again.
Of person-centered planning.
All right, let me pause it.
Trying to understand and
it's showing for some reason on 2 of my screens here, so bear with me. Sorry about that. And now it won't let me share anything else.
That's okay. How about
okay.
Let me give it a shot?
Yeah, you can see if you can, it won't let me stop sharing.
Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, just to confirm, can everyone see the screen that's being shared?
Yes. This is Helen.
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Yes, it's perfect.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and play the video now.
You have to unmute it, Wilson. We can't hear it. Maybe I should play mine with the volume and you can play yours with the screen.
We can hear it now.
Perfect.
from the origin of person-centered planning, we were trying to understand and see what it looks like when we just fit people into systems and defined their needs and saw them through the eyes of what a system needs for a person to be in order to generate the funding that's required and to basically service them. And system-centered work tends to be based on a medical model which assumes something's wrong with people, and it's the system's job to fix them. And so the system is invested in defining them in terms of their deficiencies and creating a treatment plan, and then working to help people get it right before they get to be members and be whole people in the real world. So person-centered planning offers a major contrast to that, which is to say that people don't belong to systems. They belong to themselves, they belong to their families and their communities. And if we see them in a different light by the capacities that they bring, and we understand that their communities are the place where they can contribute and be citizens, then our thinking shifts dramatically from how to fit people into systems and service them there to how do we support people to live good lives in community, and then how do we take what we need from systems and services so that services are not bad, they just tend to be wired for their own purposes, for their own self-interest. So a good person-centered planning process calls into question the way we use services and invites us to really change the way most of our services are configured to be more responsive to the people and the way that they want to live in the communities that they're in.
Contact us for more information.
Great. So hopefully that was helpful. Sorry, I have an echo. Okay, here it goes. So hopefully that was a helpful video, 2.5 short video to help really, again, establish the foundation of what being an ADRC is about, and that is being person-centered thinking, practices, so on and so forth. So the next item we have is regarding the charter. So again, everyone has had the charter was sent out to everyone. Hopefully you've had the opportunity to review it, but I'm just, instead of going through the entire charter, wanted to just briefly highlight the purpose. So again, the purpose is for this ADRC Advisory Committee is to engage stakeholders in identifying and implementing strategies to strengthen, sustain, and expand ADRC services throughout the state. Our vision is that we would have a comprehensive statewide network of ADRCs that facilitate access to services and supports based on individuals' needs, preferences, and goals. The ADRC program, or the ADRC partnership model, is actually promoted by the federal government and also under the Federal Older Americans Act. However, it took a while for it to become a part of state statute. But in October of 2017, Governor Brown had signed AB 1200, which currently defines the Aging and Disability Resource Connection Program as part of state law. So as part of the state statute, it establishes, as you already know, the Area Agency on Aging, or AAA, and Independent Living Center, or ILC, as the core partners to lead these local ADRC initiatives. With these initiatives, our ADRCs have a set of 4 core services or functions, one of them being enhanced information and referral services, second being options counseling, third being short-term service coordination, and fourth being transition services. So going back to the objectives of this advisory committee is to really, again, there are a lot of objectives, but I want to just highlight some key ones, which is one of them being review and provide recommendation on current ADRC designation criteria. In fact, the last time the designation criteria was updated was back in 2012. So it has been a while, and there are opportunities for us to make any changes to that the criteria. Second is reviewing draft standards for the ADRC core services I had just mentioned, and also making any recommendations for what you see would be considered standards for these core services, and how we can monitor for quality assurance. Third objective I wanted to cover is providing recommendations on the expansion of ADRCs throughout California. Like Kim mentioned, I think we have an ambitious goal, and there is a lot of support for ADRCs. However, our ADRCs, there's only currently 6 designated and 10 emerging, and plenty areas of the state that doesn't have these ADRC partnerships yet. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity for growth and expansion. So we look forward to your leadership, your expertise in guiding us toward expanding ADRC statewide. In terms of the chairpersons, we just wanted to mention that, well, chairpersons and membership. So membership, as you know, is appointed by the CDA director. Thus, we have currently 15 members. And the chairperson specifically in the charter states that a representative from the AAA network would be appointed by C4A. And the representative from the ILC network would be appointed by CFILC, forming 2 co-chairs. And these co-chairs are selected every 2 years, and they serve a 2-year term. In terms of, again, going back to membership, we mentioned 15 representatives with voting rights. 3 of those representatives are from the Independent Living Network. 3 are from the area agencies on aging. 3 are consumers with lived experiences. And 6 are other long-term services and support organizations, such as veteran services, such as nutrition programs, MSSP, healthcare programs, health insurance, that would be beneficial to be a part of our membership. Members can attend these committee meetings in person or via teleconference. Currently, it's just strictly teleconference, but hopefully when we are able to return in person, there would be that option. Wanted to lastly mention the meeting frequency and time commitment. So in the past, our committee meets approximately bi-monthly, a total of about 5 times a year, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Thus, our meeting tomorrow follows that format, 11 to 3. However, as you've seen in the agenda for tomorrow's meeting, there is room or there will be discussion about how we wish to see the meeting frequency and time going forward. So we look forward to hearing your feedback in regards to how often should we meet, what should be the time frames, so on and so forth. Lastly, I would just want to mention the agenda, minutes, and any supplemental documents are typically provided, will be provided in advance of the meetings, provided directly to you via email and also posted on our CDA website. These materials will also be in accessible format. So if you see anything that is non-accessible or any opportunities for improvement, please let us know. We're always looking to make ourselves better and be able to serve you as best as we can. So with that, that's the overview of the charter. Any questions regarding the charter or the person-centered video so far? No? Okay. So moving on to rules by which to meet peacefully. So this document was also provided as part of the meeting materials. And again, hopefully you've had the opportunity to review it. We won't be going through all the rules. However, we just wanted to mention that the purpose of this document is really to just set some basic ground rules or guidelines for meetings to help facilitate, make sure that everyone's heard, and also just making sure that we have a smooth meeting as much as possible. We did want to mention that the advisory committee chairs are the facilitators of the meeting, and we do ask for any speakers to wait to be recognized by the chairs before speaking, and also making sure that we announce each of our names prior to speaking, as that would help make our meetings more accessible and also help everyone know exactly who is talking at the moment. Any questions about the rules by which to meet peacefully before we move forward?
Yeah, this is Jeff. I do have a question.
Yeah, Jeff.
Will there be, one of the things, I know we don't have representative on this committee from that community, but I would still hope that we do have deaf and hard of hearing folks who will be participating. Will we have an interpreter for this committee to be able to provide, that assistance?
Yes, great question. And that's a perfect segue to, so please do let us know after this meeting. Just email me directly and let me know, or call me. Let me know if there's any ongoing accommodations that you would like to request in order to participate in these meetings. So, some of these accommodations can be, but not limited to, captioning services, interpreter, American Sign Language, travel arrangements, and just just to name a few. So yes, we do have, we can make accommodations, and typically we ask for those to be at least notify us at least 10 business days in advance, so that way we can make sure to have those accommodations in place before the meeting. Hopefully that answers your question, Jeff.
Well, I guess in the case of interpreter services or the like, which wouldn't be needed or wouldn't be used unless we reached out. I hope we reach out to the types of places where there might be the need for people that would use these type of services. So the Centers for the Deaf and other types of entities that might generate requests for them. That's I guess what I would say to that. Thank you. I've said enough, I think.
Great. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for bringing that up. Any other? Go ahead, Christine.
Christine Loomis, Riverside County. I just had another quick question on accessibility. For me, I do little tricks with documents when they are provided in Word that I cannot do easily with Adobe PDF. And if your documents are already in Word and it's not too much trouble to send those to me by email, that would make them more accessible to me.
This is Wilson. Thank you, Christine, for bringing that up. I'll make sure to make a note of that. And if anyone else feels that would be beneficial for them, we'll make sure we email in Word, understanding that different speech software operates differently. And so, and typically we do generate documents in Word, so that shouldn't be a problem at all.
Oh, good. Thank you so much.
This is David Wilder. That would be helpful for me as well.
Great. This is Wilson again. Thank you, David. Yep, we'll make sure to send it to you via in a Word format. So next, we have motions. So typically in formal advisory committee meetings, there's the Roberts rules, and there's a whole list of motions. However, for our advisory committee, the two general motions that we have used in the past, and if there are additional motions that you feel would be beneficial to make sure that we are using, please do let me know or let the chairs know. Two motions that we use is motion to approve an action or decision, and second is to motion to adjourn and break. Victoria or Anna, if you have anything to add, has there in the past or for moving forward in the future, are there any other motions that would be beneficial to for us to mention?
Not that I can think of right now, Wilson. I think that's typically used. Thank you.
Yeah, the only thing else, and this is Victoria, the only thing else that I can think of that we've ever used is like amended motions too, in relation to our charter, when there wasn't consensus, when somebody made a motion and there wasn't consensus, they've asked people to withdraw motions. But that's all I can think of.
Great, thank you.
Let me
So-
note, let me just add a note as well, Wilson, that we are always open to agenda items. So if you have any ideas of what you would like included on an agenda, we would like to get that feedback from you and make sure we're being responsive to your interests and your time.
Terrific. Thank you. And so our meeting ends in about 8 minutes. So in respect of everyone's time, I'm going to go ahead and just review over briefly. And I'm not sure if we have time to do a website review. However, maybe we can fit that in at another time. But just real briefly, want to go over some of the work groups and subcommittees that we have. So in recent times, we have 4 subcommittees or work groups. One of them being data and outcomes, second being sustainability, third being training and development, and fourth being membership. And keeping in mind that these are the ones that we recently have, and these subcommittees can come and go as priorities change and projects are completed. So we can always change it, and we'll defer to the chairs for making that decision. So with the chairs, they will be selecting the subcommittee chairs, and each of the subcommittee chairs will be forming their respective work group and selecting its members. So the goal is really to tap into everyone's expertise and syncing members with the subcommittee based on their individual expertise or interests. Going back to the subcommittee chairs, they will be selecting their members from the advisory committee, but they are also welcome to invite non-members to participate in certain meetings based on the subject matter or topic at hand, to provide some extra expertise or information. Lastly, specifically for the membership subcommittee, our recommendation is for, and again, I'll defer to our chairs, but our recommendation is for the membership subcommittee to be made up of our advisory committee chairs and the subcommittee chairs. As that subcommittee, the membership subcommittee, will be selecting, reviewing and selecting applications for recommending to the CDA director for appointment for membership. So give that some thought, and we can talk about it more later on in the future. Lastly, I wanted to cover about, with the few minutes left that we have, about the work plan. Hopefully everyone's had the opportunity to review the work plan. But it's a work plan that we had started at the beginning of this year prior to COVID. So a lot of things have definitely changed since then. But due to COVID limitations in staffing resources and also the need to really prioritize our focuses, you'll notice in the work plan that some items have been put on pause. The ones that have been put on pause is specifically Goal 1, Objective 2 and 3, Goal 3, Objective 2, and lastly, Goal 4, Objectives 2, 3, and 4. So that may sound like quite a few, but our priorities and focuses at this time is we really have 4 focuses. One of them being the ADRC Advisory Committee development, which I'm happy to say that I think we're close to accomplishing with our new membership here today. The second focus or priority for the remainder of the year is the ADRC data enhancements efforts that we're doing to measure and report on activities and benefits of our ADRC program. And really, our goal is to eventually be able to collect data to show improved outcomes of consumers. because the data that we're currently collecting is good data. It's you know, number of service units, number of consumers we're serving, number of veterans we're serving. However, we're not really currently capturing how we're actually improving the outcomes of these consumers pre and post going through our ADRCs. So we're hoping to discuss more of that tomorrow during our full advisory committee meeting. The third focus is process updates and clarifications for the path to ADRC designation. So we've received a lot of inquiry about how to become an ADRC, what are the steps, and so we've been devoting a lot of our time in developing and clarifying the process to becoming an ADRC, and that is actually on our ADRC website now. And unfortunately, we don't have time to go through the website today, but I do encourage that if you have some time to definitely review it. And lastly is our fourth focus is on Medicaid administrative claiming. This is an additional financing opportunity or financing mechanism for our ADRCs to support their local ADRC and no wrong door systems. And more to come on those updates as well. So again, next steps is really for our new chairs to update, we'll follow up with our new chairs to update the work plan for next calendar year. So with Anna and Victoria, and that way it'll help guide our focus for the next year. Any questions so far?
This is Helen.
Wilson.
Sorry, somebody else talking?
Go ahead, Helen.
All right, go. Sorry, David. What's the significance, and if I missed this, sorry, what's the significance of the red text with a black background versus the rest of the stuff on the work plan?
Great question, Helen. And I didn't bring this up. Yeah, because it's, so the red text with the black background originally was, and it is still to highlight those goals and objectives that have been on pause, that's on pause at the moment. And so as I was going over it, I mentioned the ones that are on pause verbally, knowing that not everyone can see the, the black highlights in the red font. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned that, but thank you for bringing that up.
Okay, great, thanks.
Wilson, this is David Wilder. In the future on your documents, if you could put those that are highlighted in brackets, because those of us that are visually impaired would then know that they're highlighted. My computer doesn't read highlight or color difference.
Right.
The other thing I was going to bring up, I hope in this day and age we're capturing data on ethnicity.
We currently are. It's one of the demographics that we're currently capturing.
Thank you. You didn't mention it, so I wasn't sure.
Great. Yeah, no, thank you for that question. And yeah, and that's a great thought. And we may reach out to you after this meeting too, David, to see how we can best, make sure that for those highlighted areas, I think brackets and any other tips that you can provide to us would be very helpful.
Okay.
Great. Any other questions? I know we're at time, but me and my team are available if you are able to stay put and you have questions. Okay, again, we're at time. However, I did see some benefit in going over the website. So if you have to go, we'll be sure to review it another time with you, or feel free to check it out and let us know if you have any questions. But if you are able to stay put, you're welcome to stay put. And for those that are able to, I'll share my screen and review over the website. How's that sound for everyone?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay, so let me go ahead and thank you everyone for those that have to leave. We'll see you tomorrow. And let me share my screen of the website while doing that. Okay, so let me know if everyone's able to see my screen.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Great. So here is the, and I can send out this link after our meeting as well. But here is the ADRC section of the California Department of Aging website. As you can see, there are 8 tabs, and I'll go over each of those tabs briefly. The first tab being Service Area Map. Essentially, it's a map that highlights all 58 counties within the state of California. And it highlights the 6 that are currently designated and the 10 that are emerging. And below that, we actually have a, I'm sorry? Below that, we actually have a list of all those designated and emerging in written out as well. So you're welcome to check out the map and or the list of designated and emerging ADRCs. In that list, we've identified the Area Agency on Aging partner, as well as the Independent Living Center partner as well. So, and for those that are checking out the website, as you can tell, it only we only have participation from ADRCs within a small number of counties. So there's a lot of opportunity for development and growth. And again, looking forward to your support for that. The next tab, probably the most useful for advisory committee, is the advisory committee tab. Within that tab, there are 3 boxes, one box being membership. So that covers, that has 3 documents, one being the charter, one being the membership list, and one being the application form, in case you know of anyone who may be interested to apply. The second box, we have meeting dates. Right now, there's only one document under that box. It is the meeting dates for 2020. Tomorrow's meeting, we'll be going over potential dates for 2021, so next calendar year. The third box is meeting materials. And within the meeting materials box, there's actually a lot of other boxes. Each box corresponds to the advisory committee meeting dates. So under meeting materials, the very first box you'll see is the October 16th, 2020 box. And that covers the login information or call-in information for our meeting tomorrow, as well as there's a drop-down list that has all the documents that will be that are part of the meeting materials for tomorrow's meeting. And below the October 16th box, we have other previous meetings, such as the August 21st and the June 19th boxes, which were the previous 2 meetings. Any questions so far? Feel free to chime in too if you have any questions. There's not many of us in this right now, so feel free to chime in.
Hey, Wilson, I think I'm gonna have to log off anyways, so I just wanted to let you know. But thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to working with you guys. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Great. Thank you, Anna. We know you have a busy schedule, so thank you for staying put for a little bit over time as well.
Of course. Well, it's one of my favorite topics, so thanks.
Great. Thanks, Anna. See you tomorrow. Okay, our third box is the establishing an ADRC box. So as we mentioned earlier, we've gotten a lot of questions about, what is the path to ADRC designation, and what do we need to do to get there? And so we've recently updated this tab, again, the establishing an ADRC tab, to include 4 boxes. First box being about ADRC partnership benefits. So in this box is just outlining some benefits that we're hoping would be good selling points for those local organizations that are looking to form an ADRC. The second box is titled Path to ADRC Designation. And this outlines a total of 4 steps, providing a clear, written step by step of how, if you were just starting out with being interested, and how your partnership can become a designated ADRC. And before being a designated ADRC, a common step that, which is step 2, a common step that people take would be to become an emerging ADRC. And becoming an emerging ADRC allows, becoming a designated ADRC allows your partnership to be eligible for funding opportunities that come up. Emerging pretty much just means you're an ADRC that's currently developing your ADRC, and being designated means you meet all the designation criteria. The third box is the ADRC designation resources box. And this just has a host of different tools and documents that would be helpful for partnerships to use to become an emerging and eventually a designated ADRC. Last box we have is important due dates. So there are a couple important due dates that are coming up for both those that want to become a designated ADRC, and for those that want to either maintain or become newly an emerging ADRC. And so this box outlines those due dates for those partnerships that are interested in submitting their application. So going to our fourth tab, I'm actually going to be going and I'm not sure what order it comes out as, but I'm going from the tabs, beginning from, there's 2 rows of tabs. There's 8 tabs total, 2 rows. I'm starting from the top row from left to right. So with that, the 4th and the 6th tab is regarding our 2 primary funding sources for ADRCs. One of the tabs is titled ADRC Infrastructure Grants, which is tab 4. And tab 6 is titled ADRC CARES Act. And the CARES Act is a recent act that was passed by Congress and the President, and which provided funding to states to address COVID-19. And so our ADRCs received a pretty good amount of 5 million, was it 5 million? A little over $3 million to support ADRC development and also addressing COVID-19 things that have affected from COVID-19, such as addressing the digital divide, for example, or assist in transitioning people out of nursing facilities and other things. But the feds definitely saw a benefit to our program, and that's why they provided funding to help again develop our program.
Hey, Grace. Make sure I'm on.
I'm sorry, you're not muted.
Sorry about that.
You're okay. Thank you. And so those 2 tabs will cover, the general information about those funding opportunities, the reporting, and also the reporting requirements. Specifically for tab 6 for the ADRC CARES Act, we also provided, there's a 3rd box that we provided titled Technical Resources. And they're basically just resources to address, again, the digital divide, transition services, addressing social isolation that we hope would be of benefit to our ADRCs to share with their partners and also their extended partners. Going back up, our 5th tab is the ADRC dashboards. Right now, the ADRC dashboards tab is under construction, so there's actually nothing underneath it right now. As you may recall earlier from one of our priorities and focuses is to enhance our data collection efforts. So we're hoping that once we enhance those efforts and are able to show, collect data to show outcomes, we're looking to host or put up dashboards so that way we can all monitor and check out our progress. You know, what are the, who we're serving, and also what are the outcomes that we're improving. 2 more tabs to go. So tab 7 is other resources. We posted just links to other resources, such as to the Administration for Community Living website, explaining what a no wrong door system is. And we also have a link for the Master Plan for Aging, for example, as one of 2 of the 7 links that we have listed under this tab. Tab 8 is what David Morikawa earlier mentioned. Or late last year, we developed some public awareness samples. So again, just to help us be able to talk about and tell people about ADRCs in a consistent and simple way. We've developed some samples that our ADRCs and other members, our advisory committee members, and other stakeholders can use, modify and use to talk about the ADRC and what we're about. So along with those 8 tabs, I did want to mention above these 8 tabs, in the very top of the page is also, there is a recorded webinar that's titled Introduction to ADRC - recorded webinar. So if you're interested in, after you've gotten a chance to look at your briefing kit materials, if you're interested in just having a webinar that explains more about our program, feel free to check out that link, which will take you onto a YouTube page for you to view the webinar. So with that, I'm not sure who we have with us still, and thank you so much for staying put. For those that are interested to learn more about the website, any questions about the website or anything you feel may be beneficial to include, anything at all?
Wilson, I don't have a question about the website, but just a question or questions about some of the earlier orientation.
Mm-hmm.
But is this a good time, or maybe others want to finish up with website questions first?
Sure. I don't think anyone else
okay.
has any, and we can always come back to.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I was listening, but we all have a lot going on. So what I think I heard, I heard the subcommittees. I'm clear on that. So are we? Every member should or be on a subcommittee? How does that work?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Yeah, on the subcommittees, is it expected that every member will join a subcommittee, or how does that work?
And that's a great question. We didn't really mention that. It is, even though it's not written in the charter, it is somewhat of a expectation. Reason being that we only have about 5 meetings a year, and to kind of discuss what we've been working on and such. And so a lot of the actual work and brainstorming and development is actually done within these subcommittees / work groups that happen on a more frequent basis than just 5 times a year. And so, to tap into each of our members' expertise and knowledge, we wanted to make sure we offer that opportunity for all members to join. And again, if there's no way that you're able to make it to one of these subcommittees because of the date and time that's set, please do let us know. But we do encourage all members to join a subcommittee that fits their interest and their expertise.
Okay, and the second question, Wilson, is that you talked about the priorities for the committee, and unfortunately, I didn't have access to the different documents that you had submitted earlier. I do at the very moment, though, and I'm assuming, and I do mean to say assuming, that the priorities, are they coming off of the work plan?
Yes, so there's 4 priorities I mentioned. One of them was about the advisory committee. Another is about data enhancement. The third was about ADRC designation materials and guidance. And lastly, about Medicaid administrative claiming. Yeah, all 4 of those were are on the work plan.
You broke up a little bit. Yeah, it's my connection, I'm sure.
That's okay.
Okay,
Yes.
so so designation criteria, core ADR services, including the evaluation quality, the data, what was that data? Can you say that again?
We're calling it data enhancements.
Okay, yeah, alrighty. And then the Medicaid, did you say Medicaid claiming?
Medicaid administrative claiming. So it's a financing mechanism that we're exploring to support ADRCs.
Okay.
Because in other states, what we've seen is that it could be upwards of 30 to 40% of ADRC's funding. It's that significant. So we wanted to tap into that federal financing mechanism.
Okay. And what was the explanation? And you did go over it, and I apologize, but that narrative or that portion of the work plan that's in red, how does that differ, or what are you trying to point out there?
Great question. Yeah, it's so the parts that are highlighted in black in red font, they're the objectives that have been placed on pause at the moment because
okay.
Due to COVID and just juggling priorities, we've put few on pause.
Yeah, smart. That's smart. And then I guess lastly, I've been on the Department of Rehabilitation's Assistive Technology Advisory Committee for a long time. And I recently just yesterday actually asked to get a replacement because I just have to manage my time. But the challenge that committee has is it doesn't have a lot of resources. And, I hear at the moment you have a lot of resources, but I'm just kind of curious, are there other state advisory committees that the ADRC advisory committee is possibly modeled after that might help provide some more resources for it to do its work?
In terms of resources, what are you referring to?
Well, it's a combination of staff, but you have a lot more staff doing this than the department has for assistive technology. That's one good thing. And then the staff, that comes from a budget. The budget comes from an annual allocation. So, I remember talking to the representative from the Department of Aging, and I can't.
Gregory, I think you broke up.
We lost him.
Yeah, I think we lost him.
Yeah, I think we lost his audio anyway.
Okay. Well, thank you, Gregory. And if you have questions or if you're able to reconnect, please feel free to chime in again. Do we have any other questions?
Wilson, this is...
Oh. Go ahead.
This is Jan Lamucci. I have a question. The 58 counties with only 6 designated and the 10 emerging, I'm curious as to why the other counties, AAA or C4A and ILCs aren't jumping in to become, or at least send in a letter of intent to become established or emerging. I'm really curious. Where are they? Why aren't they jumping on board with this?
Yeah, thank you, Jan, for that question. This is Wilson again. We're kind of wondering that as well. I think there are definitely more jumping on board, and some possibilities could be prior to 2019. The funding was dry for ADRCs for a handful of years, and so ADRC has been. I think nobody's against it. But it's just the dedication of resource and time. I think that may be a big factor. Another factor, and it's very unique to California, is the partnership, the mandatory partnership between Area Agency on Aging and Independent Living Center. Very unique and very beneficial, especially to our state. But both have to be on board. If you know the ILC and the AAA serving that county, they must be on board and in partnership to pursue ADRC designation.
This is Helen. I can just give you an example from Imperial County, and we have, by the way, just are getting ready to. We just approved our letter of intent. We are in different catchment areas for different. Our ILC is out of San Diego County. They had my understanding is they had they were designated at one point, and that kind of crumbled. I don't know the details, but so the ILC was working with San Diego County, and we're kind of a stepchild. So, you know, I mean, there's all sorts of, there's not clean lines between ILCs and AAAs necessarily. And that can cause some organizational issues. But they're obviously manageable because we're doing it. So, so we'll encourage others to as well. In rural counties, it's very difficult to do things that take any kind of reason. We have I was the AAA director down there for several years. The resources are so thin when your county is got a low population, and it's an additional responsibility and task, and you have to put a lot of time and energy in before you get any money for it, and so that can cause issues as well. It wasn't lack of desire, I don't think. I think it was lack of resources.
Thank you, Helen. This is Wilson again. Yeah, thanks for that input. You hit it right on the head on that one. Yeah, it's definitely not a lack of desire. I think it's a lot of, I think it's a mixture of resources and also probably guidance as well. And so I think with our new, with our advisory committee filled up, and with each of your expertise and knowledge, we're hoping to, definitely continue moving it forward for the next, at least the next couple of years. So looking forward to that. Any other questions that we can help answer?
This is Helen again. I'm wondering about the ex officio membership. Was that, where was that, where was it derived from? Did you ask some folks that didn't respond, or is it set somewhere in statute? Because I can think of several other possibilities for ex officio membership that I didn't see on the matrix. So I just kind of wonder what the history and sort of development of that list is, and is it open for change and additional membership, or is it pretty much set in stone?
This is Wilson. So in the advisory committee charter, it spells out all the ex officio members, and with the charter, it is open to change, because it's just with our new membership, I think if the members and the chairs see that there's a need to change it and add, like for example, CalVet is not currently in the charter under ex officio. However, of course, there have been they are a important and key member to our advisory committee. And so if you have any other ones, please feel free to suggest it, and we'll talk it through with the committee, with our chairs, and make any changes as we see fitting. Yeah, it's not in state statute, so it's a heck of a lot easier to change. Any other questions?
When is an appropriate time to let staff know what committee we would prefer to participate on?
So great question. So we're after this orientation, and after tomorrow, we'll be reaching out to the chairs, so Victoria and Anna, and we'll be asking them to appoint subcommittee chairs. And so those subcommittee chairs would then recruit and pick up who they the members that are interested and also has that expertise to serve on that work group or subcommittee, and go from there. And going back to Gregory's question earlier about staffing support, right now we have 5 staff members with the ADRC branch within Department of Aging, and all 5 of us are supporting the advisory committee in your work and also we'll be running by a lot of our work products for for the committee for feedback and recommendations as well, because you are our stakeholders and we want to make sure that we tap into your knowledge and expertise. Okay. Any further questions? Very good questions so far.
This is Jan. It's been really helpful. I appreciate the time and getting to know everyone, and really honored to even be part of this advisory committee.
Great. Thank you, Jan. We're honored and excited to have you on board as well with your knowledge and expertise. So with that, I know it's getting fairly close to 1 o'clock. We'll go ahead and conclude this orientation. Again, this is being recorded, so we'll make sure that we are able to provide the recording to each of our members, especially the ones that couldn't stay until 1 or couldn't attend. However, so we'll send that out, and if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to any of our team members here at the ADRC branch, and we'll be more than happy to help answer your questions.
Thank
All right,
you,
everyone.
Wilson. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.